Welcome back to our English learning channel. I'm so happy you're here with us today for another deep dive.
It is wonderful to be back. Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to do something a little different. Usually, we move very fast, but today, well, we are going to slow down.
That's right. We want to practice English listening, but we also want to learn how to have a better, calmer life. We have a guide titled, Don't Buy a Problem, Keep It Simple in 2026.
I love that title. Don't buy a problem. It's a very interesting idiom.
It is. When I first hear the word buy, I think of going to a store. I buy apples, I buy coffee, I pay money for things.
Exactly. Things you want.
Right. But I definitely do not want to buy a problem.
No one does. But this idiom suggests that sometimes we pay for trouble. We don't pay with money, of course.
We pay with our time, our energy.
Yes, our peace of mind. To buy a problem means to do something that invites difficulty into your life when you don't have to.
So you're making life harder than it needs to be?
You are. It's like, imagine you're walking and you see a big, heavy rock on the ground. You don't have to pick it up. But if you do, and you carry it, well, you just bought a problem.
That's a great image. I think I carry too many rocks sometimes.
I think we all do. So the goal for today is to help us learn how to put those rocks down, to keep it simple for 2026.
And we have 6 rules from the source text to help us. We'll explain the English vocabulary and talk about how to use this advice.
Let's start with part 1. The text calls this the internal struggle. Internal means inside.
Right, inside our own minds.
And the first topic here is very powerful. It says, stop creating problems in your head.
Oof. I think many of our listeners probably do this. I know I do. The text has a key sentence here. Not everything needs your reaction.
Let's look at that word, reaction. What is a reaction?
A reaction is, it's what you do immediately without thinking. It's fast.
Yes, exactly. Think of it like a reflex. If you touch something hot, you pull your hand away. Fast,
Right.
that's a reaction. And for a hot stove, it's a good thing.
But maybe not for life.
Not always. In life, a reaction is often emotional. Imagine you get an email from your boss, and the email, it sounds a little critical.
Oh, I hate that feeling. My heart starts beating fast. I want to reply immediately to defend myself.
That impulse, that need to fight back, that is the reaction. But the text says you can pause. Just because you feel angry or scared, you do not have to act on it.
Pausing is so hard, though. It feels like I need to do something right now.
I know, but often the best thing to do is nothing. If you react too quickly, you might say something you regret. You might
buy a problem.
You might buy a very big problem. And the text also tells us how to stop these reactions. It says, don't assume the worst without facts.
Okay, another important word here. Assume. That's A-S-S-U-M-E.
Yes. To assume means you believe something is true, even when you don't have proof. It's like guessing.
And our brains are very good at guessing, but they usually guess the bad things.
You do. So let's go back to that email from your boss. Imagine it just says, we need to talk tomorrow.
Oh, no. My first thought is, I'm in trouble. I did something wrong. I'm going to lose my job.
Exactly. You are assuming the worst. But do you have any facts, any proof?
Well, no. Maybe she wants to give me good news. Or just ask a simple question about a project.
Of course. But because you assumed, you spend the whole night worrying. You can't sleep. You've created a problem in your head that doesn't exist in the real world.
I see. So the problem isn't the email. The problem is my story about the email.
Precisely. To help with this, the text gives us a question to ask ourselves. When you feel that worry, you ask,
Is this really a problem, or am I making it one?
yes, and you have to be honest. But if you answer, yes, I am making it a problem, then you have the power to stop. You can relax.
This leads us perfectly into the second topic. Focus on what you control.
Right. We hear this a lot, control what you can, but what can we actually control? The text gives us 3 things.
Okay, the first one is your attitude.
Your attitude is how you choose to see a situation. Your perspective.
Okay, let's use an example. I'm stuck in traffic. I'm going to be late for a meeting. I cannot control the other cars.
No, you can't. Yelling won't help. Honking your horn won't help.
So my attitude is the only thing I can control.
It is. You can choose to be angry and stressed.
Yeah.
Or you can choose to accept it. You can say, okay, I'm late. I will call them when I can. For now, I will listen to a podcast. The situation is the same, but your experience of it is completely different.
That's a great point. What is the second thing we can control?
The second thing is your effort.
Effort. EFFORT. That means how hard you try to do something.
Exactly. You can't always control the result. You might study for an English test for hours and hours and still make a mistake. You can't control the final grade.
But I can control how many hours I studied. I can control if I did my best.
That's it. And that brings you peace. The third thing is your response.
Wait, we just talked about reaction. Is response different?
Yes, and this is a very important difference. A reaction is fast, emotional, automatic. A response.
Yeah.
A response is slow and thoughtful.
Ah, I see. So the reaction is the automatic feeling of being hurt or angry.
Yes. And the response is the choice you make after you pause and think. You are in control of your response.
So the advice is to ignore what is outside your control.
To ignore just means to not give it your attention. If you cannot change it, don't give it your energy. That is how you find peace.
It sounds so simple, but I know it takes a lot of practice.
It does. It's a skill you build over time. Let's move to part 2. This is about our interactions with other people.
Okay, this section is called Dealing with Others. And the first rule is one of my favorites. Don't borrow other people's stress.
I love this phrase too. Borrowing stress. We know what borrow means, right? I can borrow a book from the library.
You use it and then you give it back.
But with stress, it's different. When you borrow someone else's stress, you take it, but you can't give it back. You keep it. It becomes yours.
Can you give us an example of what that looks like?
Sure. Imagine your friend, let's call him Bob, is always stressed. He's late for everything. He's always losing his keys. He's just chaotic.
Okay, I think we all know Bob.
So Bob calls you. He's panicked. He can't find his keys again. Now, you were sitting at home, calm, drinking tea. But after 5 minutes of talking to Bob, how do you feel?
I feel stressed. I feel anxious for him. My heart is beating faster.
That is borrowing stress. Bob's problem has now become your feeling. You are stressed, even though your keys are right there on your table.
Isn't that just being a good friend? Having empathy.
That is a great question. Empathy is understanding how Bob feels. You can say, I'm sorry you're so stressed. That sounds difficult. That's empathy.
Okay.
But borrowing stress is when you let his panic ruin your peace, when his chaos becomes your chaos.
The text says something really important here. You don't have to fix everything.
It's so freeing to hear that, isn't it? You don't have to fix Bob. It's not your job.
It also talks about boundaries, saying not every opinion deserves your attention.
Deserves. That's DESERVES. It means to be worthy of something.
So some opinions from other people, they are not worthy of my time or energy.
Exactly. Especially online. Strangers might say negative things. But does their opinion help you? Is it true? If not, it doesn't deserve your attention.
And the goal of all this is to protect your mental energy.
I like to think of our mental energy like a battery. You know, the battery in your phone.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy. We all understand a phone battery.
Right. You wake up at 100%. But every time you argue with someone online, your battery goes down. Every time you borrow Bob's stress, your battery goes down.
And if my battery is at 0%, I can't do my own work. I can't enjoy my own life.
Exactly. So don't buy a problem also means don't spend your battery on things that don't matter to you.
This connects so well to the next topic, reduce mental noise.
Mental noise, it's a great phrase. What do you hear on a busy city street?
Oh, cars, sirens, construction. It's loud. It's hard to think.
Now imagine all of that noise is inside your head. You're worrying about something you did yesterday. You're planning for next month. You're thinking about the news.
That's mental noise. Too many thoughts at once. It's like having 50 tabs open on your computer.
Yes. And music is playing from one of them, but you can't find which one. That is mental noise.
So how do we close the tabs? How do we turn down the volume?
The text suggests we limit drama and negativity. And it gives us one very specific, very hard instruction. Say no more often.
It's saying no. It's just one tiny word, N-O. But it can be the hardest word in English to say.
Why do you think it's so hard?
I think it's because we want people to like us. If I say no to an invitation or no to helping someone, I feel guilty. I feel like I'm a bad person.
That is so common. We are taught to be people pleasers. But the text says that saying no helps us remove unnecessary commitments.
A commitment is a promise, something you said you would do.
Right. And if you say yes to everything, your life gets filled with promises you don't really want to keep. You're busy, but you aren't happy.
So saying no to other people is really about saying yes to myself.
Exactly. It's saying yes to your own peace. Yes to saving your battery for what's important to you.
I really need to practice that. Just simply, no thank you, or I'm sorry, I can't do that.
It does get easier with practice. And this brings us to our final section, part 3, decision-making and the 2026 goal.
This part is about how we make choices. And the main rule is to simplify your decisions.
The text says, if it's not important, don't overthink it.
Overthink? That's a great word. Over means too much, and think. So thinking too much.
We all do it. What's a small thing you overthink?
Oh, this is embarrassing. Dinner. Every single night, I stand in the kitchen thinking, should I have pasta or maybe a salad? Should I just order food? I can spend 20 minutes just deciding what to eat.
And in the end, does it really matter that much?
Not at all. It's just one meal.
That's the point. The text says we should make fewer but better choices. Save your brain power for the big, important decisions. Don't waste it on the small stuff.
I love this other phrase from the text. Choose clarity over complexity.
Let's define those two words for our listeners. Clarity and complexity.
Okay. Clarity comes from the word clear, like a clean window. It's easy to see through. It's simple to understand.
And complexity is the opposite.
Yeah.
It's complex. It's like a big knot of rope. It's messy and hard to understand.
So the advice is to always choose the clean window, not the tangled rope.
Yes. If your plan is simple, it has clarity. If it's complicated, it has complexity. Always choose simple.
This all comes together in the final summary, the 2026 mindset rule.
The text gives us 2 short lists to remember, a less list and a more list.
Okay, let's hear the less list first. What should we do less of in 2026?
Less overthinking and less reacting.
So less worrying about pasta for dinner and less sending angry emails 2 seconds after you get them.
Exactly. And the more list.
More clarity and more calm.
Clarity and calm. They sound like 2 good friends.
They do, don't they?
They really work together. When you have clarity, when your life is simple and you know what's important, you feel calm.
And when you feel calm, it's easier to think clearly. It's a good cycle.
It's the opposite of the stress cycle, where worry leads to more worry. This is a calm cycle.
This has been so helpful. It's more than just English vocabulary. It's a guide for life.
I agree. The words we learned today, overthinking, borrowing stress, mental noise, they describe modern life so well.
Before we go, let's do a very quick review. Repetition helps us remember.
Good idea. So first, remember to stop creating problems in your head. Ask yourself, am I making this a problem?
Second, protect your battery. Don't borrow other people's stress. Say no to protect your peace.
And finally, when making decisions, choose clarity over complexity. Keep it simple.
Now, we always like to give you, our listeners, a little bit of homework, a small challenge.
Yes. Since we talked about how hard it is to say no, here is your challenge.
Look at your calendar for next week. Look at all your plans and commitments.
Is there one thing on that list that gives you mental noise? A meeting, an appointment, something you are dreading?
Dreading means you feel a little scared or you really, really don't want to do it.
If you find one thing like that, ask yourself, can I say no to this?
Maybe you can cancel it or reschedule it or just send a polite message that says, I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it.
Try to remove just one unnecessary commitment from your week.
And then notice how you feel.
You might feel a little guilty at first, but do you also feel lighter? Do you feel a little more free?
That feeling of freedom, that is the goal. That is not buying a problem.
Exactly. keep your energy for you.
Thank you so much for joining us on our English Learning channel today. We hope this deep dive helps you practice your English listening and helps you have a simpler, calmer 2026.
It was a pleasure. Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember to keep it simple.
See you next time.
Hey, bye, everyone.